Paper dog. Okay.
I know I have mine somewhere too.
You do not.
We are live.
Oh, we are live.
Why, hello, Three Wise Pet Pros.
Three.
How are you doing today?
Doing great. It is hump day. Oh, I forgot to play the hump day song for my students.
Oh,
Mm.
you're getting back into it.
Yeah, I am getting back into it. I played a video for them this morning, and they were like, "We already saw this guy." I'm like, "It's a different video. Just watch it." And the song was it's called "My Teacher Loves Me," and it's by Dwayne Reed. He's a I guess an educational rapper from Chicago. So he plays some really good. He has some really good songs for them. So they loved it. Yeah.
Sweet.
So I'm getting back into the swing of things.
Absolutely. That's Ms. Nicole, our resident teacher who has just gone back. You know, we know school's starting now. We want to wish everyone a great school year, safety, and great learning for everyone. Thank you so much for being a teacher. We need every single one of you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Yes, we do. I'm gonna turn this into an emotional event, but we love you. But today, the Three Wise Pet Pros would like to welcome you. Welcome.
Welcome to
Wise,
the show.
Wise Wednesday. And we are here to talk about a certain topic today. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? How does everybody feel? It's raw foods. That's what it is. That's right. There you go. We'll give you a hint, right? Yes, we are talking about raw foods. And, you know, there's been a little controversy around it. You know, should you do it? Shouldn't you do it? How should you do it? And so we really wanted to bring this to you this week. Tony, what do you think? Have you heard any controversy about raw feeding?
No. No, I have not. I have and I have not. I'm overthrown because I thought the introduction was going to be coming from the other person, so I was waiting for her to start talking.
Yeah, I
was like,
Did I?
That's
Okay, well, you know what? That's all we can totally do that. Because guess what? It's our show and we can do it how it's supposed to do. My bad.
It's okay.
Miss,
I was like, not me. I wasn't ready.
sorry. Okay, Miss Nicole.
Well, yeah, so raw feeding. You all are actually doing great. You were doing great, but I guess I'll take it from here. Yes, raw feeding, I have heard some good and bad things about it. I actually have a client and his dog's food looks pretty tasty. When he drops her off, it's like shredded chicken. I don't know if it's boiled or what he does, but shredded chicken and some carrots and peas and those kinds of things. And I keep it in the fridge, and that's what she eats. That's all she eats. But I have heard some things that, raw may not be good. It may be too much protein for him. I know there's a way you have to balance the portions out. I, at one point, had started giving my dogs liver and chicken hearts. And because I didn't know what I was really doing, I decided to lay off of it. And I don't know if you all remember, those who are have been following us for a long time. When we started out in January, I think I started raw feeding, and I was just doing something at the time, and the dogs were enjoying Sunday raw feeding. Well, I backed off just because it can be challenging. It can be time consuming, especially if you have to decide whether you want to cook the food, just, boil it, or do you want to just throw a whole leg quarter? I know some breeders who give their dogs 3 leg quarters and just throw it in there because they can digest that bone if it is not cooked. So I have gone back to kibble and I am slowly adding some things like carrots back into their diet because even though they are not digestible, they do help with deworming. And I've also been using, this is frozen. I should have taken this out, but I've been using raw goat's milk for them as well. So
You got to go
that
in
is
the
what
backyard.
I do, ma'am.
I said, you got a goat in the backyard.
Not yet, but I will have some goats when I get out to my land. I'm gonna have some goats mowing that lawn for me.
Say
All right.
that.
Yep, say it.
Say it.
All right.
So, Miss Pony, what about you?
So yeah, the pros and cons, not so much controversial, just more like pros and cons. It's a different thought process, I guess, in my head, is that, like you were saying, time consuming, cost, that when you're trying to make sure that they get the right nutrition that they need. So like that PMR diet, I don't know if I would ever do that one. That is a model raw diet, meaning that when you basically look into the dog food bowl, it's going to look like the animal that you put in there. So like duck heads, chicken feet, like the actual pieces versus like pieces of meat, such as like a piece of steak or pork. Well, not pork. Well, some people do feed their dogs pork chops. But again, this could become cost effective. I mean, you're looking at pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds. They're not cheap per pound. Blueberries. I mean, if you buy blueberries for yourself, you know that per pound, once these are out of season,
Right.
they are very expensive. You get like a pint for like $3. It's like one feeding, especially depending on the size of your dog. Now, if you have a little dog, like under 10, 15 pounds, you might be able to afford to feed them raw. But if you feed
But
one of
not
your
if you have pork on it corso.
like
Right.
this is a piece of steak and it's a nice piece of cut here. This is probably not even going to touch one of your carne corsos, like not at all. So like the Lasso Yorkie that I have here, he's 20 pounds. This would probably be like enough for 2 feedings when adding in blueberries, some pumpkin seeds, because they kind of go with the deworming, like you were talking about with the carrots.
Yeah.
So just the positives, benefits of it, though, is that you don't have to worry about all of those preservatives and things that let something sit on the shelf for how long? Like over a year?
Yeah.
Ages. Yeah. So just the thought process. And though, we're talking about raw food diet, it's it's not something that I do all the time. I do add in some supplements into the kibble because, like I said, the cost, time. When you're walking out the door, you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot to feed the dogs. You don't have time to cook rice or cook oatmeal or whatever it is that you're preparing for your dog. I know some people have different ways of preparing dog foods so that it is more easily accessible. But again, you got to take the time to prepare it to make it easily accessible.
Yeah.
True.
So that would be a little bit of more of the pros and the pros and cons for me in regards to the raw feeding versus kibble.
Tanara, what about you?
Yeah, there has been quite a bit of controversy, I would say. And not even, maybe not controversy is maybe not the right word, just alternative viewpoints, alternative
There we
views.
go.
There's a lot of groups out there that are focused on raw feeding, and everybody believes that their way is the right way. So, Tony had mentioned the Prey model raw diet. Another diet that we talked about on our Instagram and on our Facebook was the barf diet. Sounds pretty gross, right? Like barf. But what it stands for is the bones. Actually, there's a couple of different ways of that acronym could be used. Some people say the bones and raw food diet, and some say the biologically appropriate raw food diet. And that's just really, I mean, it's almost the same, but it's really focusing on what's appropriate for that species, whether or not certain elements within those foods go well with them. So one thing that we wanted to look at too would be like, for instance, do we feed our pets vegetables? And which ones are good for them? Which ones maybe cause gas? We really don't know. And it can be by individual animal too, you know. So some examples of some things that I typically use are spinach. I found that Mile does pretty well when I just cut up spinach and put it right into the bowl and then give the protein on top and kind of mix it in so she can't so she's gonna wind up getting all those scrubbing action inside the fiber. And then also the same for celery, you know, it's just packed full of water. And a lot of times you need to give our dogs extra water, and it can be given to them, cats as well, through something like celery. Um, and celery also would be considered a cooling food, a cooling type of food. And one great thing that I have learned through food therapy is that there are certain foods that you can use to bring the temperature up and down. So you have a feverish pet, dog, cat, goat, chicken, or whatever. You could give something like celery. You could also give, as far as proteins, turkey, duck. Those are both cooling. But if, you know, your baby has a disease where they're shivering and shaking and cold, often then you can give them some of the warming foods like venison, mutton, um, ginger. That'll warm you right up.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it will. Man, I've chewed on some ginger before, and that's like, you know, sweating in the next few minutes, right? If it's something
Yeah.
good. So that's what's pretty interesting to me is that there's just such a variety that you can feed as far as vegetables. What about on the fruit side? I thought I saw some fruits over there. One of you. Didn't one of you have something?
My daughter just handed me the bowl back. She was like, "Here," because she had.
Thank you, Amira.
Thank you.
So yes, blueberries being one. I actually have some bananas in the freezer. The bananas that are like, you know, get to the point where you'd be like, I don't think I want to eat those, or maybe a little bit riper than you want. That's a good time to offer something for your pet as well, though it's still edible. Something that you maybe not want to eat, you know, smoothies or banana bread, but it's also good for your fur baby to have a cool treat. Or, I mean, if I peel a banana, my dogs be like, "We get a piece of banana," and I'm like, so yeah, so these are frozen blueberries, which are, you know, like some people like us, we like to like just kind of use them like that. But so blueberries, what other fruit do I get them? Strawberries is a good one too. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, bananas. No grapes. No grapes.
No, great.
I was just going to ask.
Um, watermelon is a good one as well.
No
But again,
seeds.
yes, no seeds. But with the fruits, you have to be careful with the amount that you give them because they can have like a higher sugar content
Yeah.
and also cause like loose stools if you have too much in there, not enough fiber and protein, which kinds of plays with another thought that I had was as you talked about the cooling foods, Tanira, but is that some dogs who have like issues like with their kidneys, they don't need like a really high protein diet. So they have to be careful how much protein they get in their diet because as it excretes through the food, through their digestive system can cause other issues. So if you know that your pet has like, besides kidney issues, liver issues, kidney, what's some other issues that pets can have? Digestive issues.
Yes, thyroid, all those things.
Yeah, so different foods that we talked about may not be good for your dog or cat or rabbit or tortoise or whatever pet that you have at home that you're feeding a raw food diet to, but could be also, like Tanera was mentioning, excellent. Like this would be the perfect food. So those are different ways to look at the different foods and fruits and vegetables that we have to offer.
Could you talk about that? I think Miss Nicole mentioned it once before, but Tony, do you have any thoughts on raw or partially cooked, and why?
My personal thought process is I know there's so many people out there, especially like with the bigger like bully breeds and even the kind of corso breeders out there, pit bulls, they definitely do like the raw. Like I gave my dog, the steak, I gave him the whole chicken. Um, I just like have this thought process that, but then I'm the same person that eats sushi. So like, I'm like, they need to have that chicken like boiled, but I don't, I guess I really don't have a reason, but like when it comes to certain fish, I do know that you need to be careful because there are different parasites that can live in it. And that's like how I was talking about like the fruits and vegetables, they can get on the edge of where you might, I don't want to eat that. I don't do that with my meat. If I'm not going to eat the meat, they not going to eat the meat because that's not, no, that's too edgy. That's like setting myself up for, too many different things where, meat ain't nothing to play with. It's like, you can just get some chicken juice on your hand or on the counter and go cut something on next thing you know, you got salmonella. So, I I don't personally like just the raw food diet. So if I was, doing I would be doing more of the partially cooked meals. So the meat would be cooked.
Okay. Okay. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay.
She over here
Well,
feeding Ray out all these blueberries. I'm like I was just saying, we ain't trying to have
right.
no.
Gonna have a cleanup on aisle 3. Speaking of 3, it's the 3 Wise Pet Pros. In case you didn't know, intermission commercial. It's the 3 Wise Pet Pros. Actually, we were trying to kind of figure out a little jingle, and we might ask for your help coming up soon. So get your thinking caps on for the 3 Wise Pet Pros jingle. I didn't make a little banner for it, but actually, what I'll just do is scroll back up to here. We're the 3 Wise Pet Pros, and so yes, we're looking for a jingle. We need your help. Okay, so something catchy. 3 lovely ladies with the animals. So.
I know a young man that we met in Tennessee. No, not Tennessee, in Atlanta, and he was a singer. He bust out a rhyme, little vibe. I was like, "Hey, now."
I still hear him singing that in my head sometimes.
He's like 3 Wise Pet Pros. I was like, "Oh shit, I like it."
Yeah.
So we don't own the rights to that, so we got to catch up. That wasn't it either. So
wasn't it like Lee something? Wasn't his name Lee?
Yeah, like he's on our page, so
yeah,
reach out to him.
We need to find him, but you also.
He bust that down like real quick, like in seconds. Like we're like looking, like how you just said just now. We're looking for a jingle. He was like, ah. Oh man.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Oh man, this is such great memories. I'm so glad we got to go, you guys.
It was a great time. Did we tell everybody? Have we been on? Yeah, but we didn't.
I think we did because I'm supposed to be showing videos, live footage of some behind the scenes things that we did.
Oh my goodness.
You better be glad I've just been too busy to go through my phone.
Well, yeah. I can't wait to see them because it was fun. It was fun. I can kind of think of some thoughts, particularly like a country song that you, because you pretty good at pulling out a camera. We thinking you actually doing some work over there. She was like, "Yeah, I got y'all on camera." Like, oh my God.
She got us.
Yeah.
Oh man, so I can't wait
to get the future. Yeah, more trips in the future. We are going to do this. We are doing this.
Yes, we are.
Because it's no going to do it. It's doing. You're doing something every day. Maybe it's something different every day, but you're doing something every day to get to those goals of where you want to be, And I'm so glad that I have these other 2 Wise Pet Pros to be with me on this journey, so we can all reach the finish line together. Excited about that. Yes. So, any other thoughts about raw food, or is that it for the day? I mean, that was decent. I mean,
It was decent. I know we're hitting right at 20 minutes, so that's perfect as far as the information that we gave out. I had went into Facebook. I didn't see any comments from anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at Facebook to see if I saw.
I didn't look at YouTube at all. So yeah, I think we need a call of action though, Tanera.
oh yeah. Yes. Call of action. Oh man.
You forgot your cue card?
Yes, I want to get up.
Oh man, I know what it is if you don't remember. My expressions are quite
I love it.
cracking myself up sometimes.
Okay, you can do it. Wait, I'll type.
All right, call of action is this was we talked about dog food. So please post pictures of what you feed your dog food. So like if you, I know Katie, no, I be getting my Katie's and Angela's mixed up. Don't be mad at me, please. But I'm trying. I know it's not Angela Burton who does. Which one is it that does the dog food? The one with
Sarah
the one
Holden.
with hounds.
Sarah
The Otter
Holden.
Hounds, Katie Wright.
Oh no, Katie Wright has otter hounds,
Otter hounds. Okay.
but Sarah Holden is the one that typically
Does the
makes.
dog foods?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know she's going to show us some good ones, but others, please share information about dog food diets that you have. So it could be a recipe or it could be the actual dog food that you have prepared. So that is our call of action from the 3 Wise Pet Pros. You can share it as a link to this page. A link to this video or just a new post, and then we will approve it and then we'll post it, get posted.
Easy as that. Easy as pie.
Yes, ma'am. So post photos of what you feed your dogs or cats. Meow.
And rabbits and rats and owls.
Yeah, those too.
All right, you guys. This is as good as it gets.
All right.
With the 3
I'm
Wise
on my
Pet
way to a
Pros.
soccer game
Oh, nice.
to watch a
Cheers.
soccer game.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys win.
Yes, ma'am. Frozen
All right.
blueberries.
They're so good. I love frozen fruit.
Give you some fuel.
All right, ladies.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out. We'll
All
see you
right.
next week.
3 Wise
If not before.
Amira just asked me, what is this?
Well, you said peace.
Oh, because this is how we say peace.
This is how,
Yeah, that's how we say peace, Amira.
Somebody hasn't been watching broadcasts. Peace.
Peace.
Gotta
All
love
right,
her.
ladies.
All
All
right.
right. Talk to you all later. You have a great one.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.